He chose to wed a girl in a wheelchair, but what transpired at the ceremony astounded everyone. The most important moment in a woman's life is likely when she goes down the aisle with her father and gazes into the eyes of her spouse. It was a heartwarming scene to see this woman, who used a wheelchair, walking down the aisle. It's hard to imagine how the bride could do that. Jackie Gonchar is a 25-year-old woman who had a difficult life but turned it around. When she was a teenager, she had an accident that left her in a wheelchair. Since then, she has tried to make the most of every moment and tackle life head-on with a smile on her face, but it hadn't always been easy. When Jackie was only 17 years old, tragedy struck. She got a severe spinal injury that left her paralyzed. That day changed her life completely. The news was devastating for Jackie and her family. All her dreams were shattered. She had to reevaluate her entire life and try to find happiness again, regardless of her shortcomings. Jackie Gonchar had a very active lifestyle before the accident. She was a prolific athlete and an activist who always rushed to meet the adventures head-on. Jackie loved sports, and she swam a lot, but the accident that followed put an end to all that. Her life took a drastic turn, and she didn't handle it in the best way. And if there was any hope for recovery, the doctors who handled Jackie's case put an end to that. They told the young woman that she would never walk again. Jackie was devastated. She burst into tears and asked to be left alone. She couldn't imagine a life without being able to walk. Would she manage to push through this challenge, or would she raise the white flag in defeat? The doctors were sure of their diagnosis. Jackie would never walk again, and she would have to use a wheelchair from then on. The news marked a grim chapter in Jackie's life. Everyone told her to say goodbye to her adventurous lifestyle. She had to make peace with the new normal. But the young girl wasn't the type to give up that easily. When Jackie heard that she would never be able to walk again, her whole world shattered. She worked hard for her future, and it felt like it was taken away from her in the blink of an eye. Jackie used working out as an escape from reality, and not being able to do that resulted in Jackie falling into a deep, dark depression. It seemed as if there was no end in sight. Things got to the point where Jackie didn't want to leave her room. She barely ate and spent most of her time sleeping. However, she realized that things couldn't continue this way and that she needed to make some changes. Jackie tried her best to not give up on the things that she loved before the accident. She still went for long walks on the beach, spent time in parks, and tried to make the most of everything. But it wasn't enough to keep her spirits up. Jackie found it challenging to adapt to the new life. Everyone was worried she would never be able to find happiness again. Concerned for her daughter's well-being, she urged Jackie to take a stroll in the park. It had been weeks since she last left her room, and after a while, she agreed to go. Jackie was reluctant to leave, but she knew it was necessary. For months, Jackie felt as if her life was over, but everything changed when she met Andrew. It was a sunny spring morning, and Jackie enjoyed the warmth on her skin. She was busy watching some birds when an attractive young man sat next to her. He introduced himself as Andrew and asked her if he could keep her company. She was initially confused by his request, but agreed nonetheless. Was he doing this because he pitied her? She wondered. The truth would leave her speechless. Andrew and Jackie spent hours talking to each other. He was interesting and charming, and she wanted to know everything about him. She was curious about why he wanted to talk to her, so she asked him. What he said next made her heart drop to her stomach. What Andrew wanted was to ask Jackie on a date. He instantly found her charming, and he wanted to spend more and more time with her the more he got to know her. Jackie couldn't believe that this was happening to her. Her stomach fluttered when she learned that he wanted to go on a date. He was smart and passionate, and she felt as if he was too good for her. Why would someone like him want to date someone like her? She still agreed to go out with him, and she would soon learn that it was the best decision of her life. Andrew was a gentleman on their date, and the pair soon began dating. Jackie fell hard and fast for him. They started a beautiful relationship filled with incredible moments. He made her feel like she was the most beautiful woman in the world, and her insecurities faded. Jackie was happy again and grateful for her extraordinary love story. After 1 year, Andrew proposed to her, wanting to spend the rest of his life with her. She said yes without any trace of doubt. Every young girl dreams of their wedding day. From a young age, they know exactly where they want their wedding to be, what kind of food they want to be served, and what dress they want to wear. Jackie was no different. Even though her life looked different from what she wanted, she wouldn't let that get in her way. She pictured herself walking down the aisle with the most beautiful dress, and that's precisely what she was going to do. Jackie did not want to believe that she would never walk again. Meeting Andrew opened her eyes, and she knew that she could do anything that she put her mind to. He motivated her to get back to the gym. He knew that she was an athlete before the accident, and that she struggled because she couldn't do her workouts. I would go to the gym and get so frustrated that I wouldn't go back. I was trying to make myself do it, but I kept failing at it. And then I would be disgusted with myself, she shared during an interview. She tried her best, but she knew it wasn't enough. She spent her evenings researching, trying to track down her state's best physical therapist. She was determined to walk on her wedding day. After spending hours on the internet, she found somebody who was willing to help her reach her goal. Her wedding guests had no idea what was in store for them. But what Jackie prepared for her wedding with Andrew would leave him without words. She had been working on this for months with her physical therapist without telling anyone. Jackie was ready to reveal the craziest thing to her future husband on her wedding day. After she told him, he was in tears. He couldn't believe what was happening. This wasn't the wedding he'd imagined. When the long-awaited day came, no one at the wedding could have imagined what would happen next. Jackie drove into the hall with her mother and grandfather, but then the wheelchair stopped halfway down the aisle. The girl began to stand on her own feet. Everyone was stunned. In just a second, the hall became very quiet. People were watching with their mouths open. Jackie left her wheelchair and walked slowly towards her fiancé. No one knew she was preparing such a surprise, not even Andrew. When the groom saw what was happening, he could not hold back his tears. All the guests cried as it was such a touching moment, and that wasn't all she had in store for her fiancé. Jackie was able to stand on her feet for the entire ceremony, which lasted about 45 minutes. The groom kept crying through it all. After the ceremony, the young woman even danced with her groom. She was in heaven. It felt like nothing could stop her. Jackie danced the dance of the newlyweds and didn't plan to stop there either. She spent most of their 5-hour event standing on her feet. The guests couldn't believe what was happening. Everyone was in awe at the young couple. Jackie was incredible. She could never accept the doctor's diagnosis and decided to never give up on trying to get better. It took the young woman several years of hard training to be able to stand on her own feet. It wasn't easy, but she never gave up and decided to reveal her accomplishments on the happiest day of her life. Jackie's hard training was not only for her, but for the love of her life as well. The girl said that if it weren't for Andrew, she could have never made it that far. He was her biggest motivation. She couldn't believe her luck. Never in a million years could she have anticipated that this was where she would end up in life. Everything was almost perfect, but Jackie and Andrew had one thing still missing in their life. Life with Andrew was a dream, and the couple purchased their dream home together. It was a beautiful 4-bedroom home in a safe neighborhood. They bought this home, intending to fill it with children. Jackie wanted to be a mother more than anything else, but the timing just didn't feel right. Instead, Andrew made an interesting proposal. The couple got up early one Saturday morning. There was a sense of excitement in the air. Today was the day that they would adopt a furry friend. Jackie called all the local shelters and asked if they had any golden retriever puppies available. And luckily, they found one. Jackie is still training every day to be the best mom to her future children. Hopefully, one day, she could walk again. Until then, she'll have her husband's love and support. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on that bell icon to stay connected. Until next time, take care.